So you might be asking yourself, what's the difference between a $50 Halloween prop and a $500 Halloween prop? And today, that's what you're about to find out. I'm gonna go through two Halloween props, one coming from a consumer box store, and the second one coming from a professional Halloween prop company. Now, most Halloween props that you buy from a retail box store are on the lower end of things, and they're not the greatest of quality, ranging from $1 from Dollar Tree up to $300 to $500 at a store like Home Depot, Lowe's, Spirit Halloween, stores like that. Now, there's multiple other Halloween stores that sell a multitude of Halloween props, animatronics, and just display pieces, ranging from $50 all the way up to $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. These are geared more towards haunted houses and theme parks. Now today I'm going to break down two of my own personal props, one that I've had for a very, very long time, and the other one I had just recently picked up, and it's one of three of my own personal professional Halloween props. First up, we have our $50 Halloween prop. This I purchased at Party City many years ago. This guy here is on the lower end of Halloween props. Now, he is $50, but this prop is not $50. It's literally a couple poles that snap together with a Christmas tree style base. And then you have your plastic skull with your cheap fabric and your plastic hands that are just on a foam wrapped wire armature, and that is it. He is paper thin because it is just a plastic armature. So you have this plastic spine looking style piece up here, and then you have fabric and zip ties and stuff wiring it together. Now this does have a speaker. It lights up and plays music. Considering this is very old, it doesn't really do that anymore. But it does stand about 6 foot tall. I have it kind of rigged up so it's a lot taller than it normally is. The stand for him broke, so obviously it's a $50 prop, so years of abuse, this thing has taken its abuse. You know, they just have the plastic chain on his hands, and they have it literally tied on his both hands. And then at one point I stuck a black rose of death because he is a reaper. Stuck that in his hand, added a little bit of blood to him over the years, but his eyes blink red. Red or white, I can't remember. I think it's white. There's not much to them, just some like black cheesecloth, and they have it all shredded up down towards the bottom, and that's it. That's literally it, and that's $50. 50 hard-earned dollars gets you basically a plastic skull and some plastic hands and some landscaping fabric, and that's all this is under here. It's literally the weed barrier fabric, and then some cheesecloth over top of that with some plastic chain tied to it. That's what you get for $50. From stores, specifically Haunted Hill Farms is where this came from, but Party City had picked this up and sold it in stores, and we picked this up at Party City many years ago. But for $50, that's all you get. It's really not that great of a prop, but I put it out every year. Goes out in my yard. I just stake it up. It's kind of been the first one that I've ever purchased, so I stick it out in the yard every year for me for Halloween. So now let's take a look at what $500 can get you. Now this is more like it. Now this is a prop from Haunt Supply. This one specifically is called Bloodgins. This is the bloody variant of it. This is a life-size stuffed foam latex body. Dressed head to toe with shoes with a metal welded base, foam filled, wrapped in pretty much like a bed sheet, foam filled body, and then wrapped in barbed wire and latex coated over it with tons of blood on it. Now this is something you would see at a haunted house, theme park, anything like that. You could probably see this in a movie set or something, kind of off in the distance. You know, it's not super duper realistic, but in a movie, in a dark corner or something, at a kind of a blurry, you get it. It would look pretty realistic at certain angles with camera work. But this guy, life size, foam filled, static prop, doesn't do anything. It's not animated, doesn't light up, doesn't move, doesn't make any noise, doesn't do nothing. This cost me secondhand $550. Brand new, this is about $680, I think, somewhere in there. It's under $700 just for this foam filled latex with a metal armature in it to hold it up. Now it is 360. It's done front to back, top to bottom. Everything is done, painted up, and it is fully detailed in a sense, where the other one just kind of looks meh. Well worth the money versus the $50 prop. As you can see, the quality difference is drastically different. This one, very much more realistic, heavier duty quality wise, and it's going to withstand a lot more than that $50 prop would. This one, obviously, with it being latex, you wouldn't want to leave it out in the sun, but if you're putting it in a haunt, which is what this is designed for, it's not going to be out in the elements, stuff like that, so this foam latex won't break down. But if you put it in the sun, it's going to break down, the rain, the snow, stuff like that, it's going to break down. Latex will start to crack and deteriorate over time. But with this in mind, that it's going in a haunted house or a theme park, it's going to hold up just fine. But this is on the higher end of quality for Halloween props. This is a professional grade Halloween prop. Like I said, it's just a static prop. It's not animatronic. So for $500, I know a lot of people will be like, whoa, that is a lot of money just for something that stands there. Yes, you're right. But you also pay for quality versus something you would buy at Home Depot, Spirit Halloween, or Lowe's. Or you can mix in Party City with that as well. Those props, you spend $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 at those props, and let's be honest, they break just as easy as anything else. You might get the whole season out of them. You might get 1 hour. I've had some where I've purchased them and they lasted an hour and they were broke. So that $300 initial investment, down the drain. This, at least, I know it's not going to do anything other than stand here. So it's not going to let me down. I'm not going to get my hopes up, only to get my dreams crushed here. So I already know going into this, this is exactly what it does. It looks awesome, and I'm extremely happy with it. So it's all about how much of this you want to spend to make your Halloween props or your Halloween display that much more cooler. From the side-by-side comparison, which one looks more lifelike and realistic? Which one actually looks like there's somebody standing there? Whether it be wrapped up or not, the one on the right looks the realest. Far more higher quality versus the Party City skeleton. Let's take a closer look. Now, as you can see, both of them come with bases. This one is a little bit harder to cover up with a base. You could throw leaves on it if it's going outside. Now, if you're putting it in your house or your haunted house, you're gonna have to do a little bit more work to that. The one on the right, you could easily just cover it up with some type of mesh netting or some carpeting or something you could put under that. Cover up that base. It'd be super easy and simple to cover that up. Nothing crazy. You could even put some like pallet board around it, broken wood or something, and you could hide that base relatively easy. This one, on the other hand, not so much, but it also really doesn't look realistic. Let's be honest. The comparison between the two, this one is definitely higher quality, as it should be, and this one is bottom of the barrel. So $50 Halloween prop versus $500 Halloween prop. Which one would you choose?